Hey everybody, I want to share with you a book that has changed my life. It has changed my life, it's changed my body, and I haven't even finished reading it, or I haven't even actually finished the entire program. But what I did take from it has really, really helped me and brought me so much closer in my faith. And the book that I'm talking about, if we haven't met though, before I tell you the book, my name is Denise Jelinek and I help women over 40 and binge eating, right? Just finally get over that hump so that they can live in the bodies that they absolutely were created to live in. Okay, so the book is Dr. J. Richards' book, Eat, Fast, Feast. Okay, so I heard about this in one of my Catholic moms groups. They were talking about fasting and I've always heard of that and kind of thought, well, that's not really for me. You know, I have a history of binge eating, disordered eating. It's probably not a good thing for me, but I was very interested in reading the book and I started to listen to some YouTubes with Dr. J. Richards. He's a Catholic scientist. I was really interested in the science. I'm not a book reader, so I started reading the book. And the book talks about resurrecting the old spiritual practice of fasting. And we've been hearing about how many amazing things there are for our body with fasting. But let me just talk about the religious practice of fasting. Okay, so there was a little nugget hidden in this book that I did not expect at all. So to be able to fast, he says fasting should be a sacrifice, but it shouldn't be torture. And one of the reasons that it's torture is because of the way that we eat in our world today, which is a super high carbohydrate rich diet where we are really dependent on eating every several hours to make sure that we're not like shaking and our blood sugar is really low. So he says, hey, to get out of that cycle and to stop being so dependent on carbohydrates. Now, I am not saying that everybody should do this, that this is the best way. I'm just telling you about the book. Okay. That they should follow what's called a ketogenic diet, where you eat healthy fats, mostly fats, but very low carbohydrates, like 5% carbohydrates, when our normal diet is more like 60% carbohydrates, if you've know anything about nutrition. Okay. So I was thinking, wow, that is really interesting. Like I loved all the theology. I loved all the science. I thought it was very, very interesting. But again, I'm just reading the book. Again, so we've got two concepts here. We've got fasting, which I was kind of like, I don't think that's really for me because of my history. And now we've got the ketogenic diet, when I was like, wait a second, that sounds another extreme, and I don't think that's for me either. But I'm really enjoying the book. All I have to say is I was reading the book on a Saturday night, and Monday morning I woke up and I felt God say, give it a go. What do you have to lose? I mean, I have enough nutrition background that I was like, okay, well, I guess I can try it. To make a long story short, that was July. I did it for one day and it was like, that went okay, I guess. I did it for 2 days, 3 days. It was just so happened that my husband and I were going away for the weekend, and the husband of my friends, we were going away with another couple, was really big into the ketogenic diet and had been on it for like 9 months at that time. And it was one of those vacations where we were going hiking and picnicking. So we kind of all brought our own food. So I just kind of kept going that weekend. Truth be told, it was a super hard transition. My energy was really low. All I have to say is if I had not felt like God was like, I think you should do this. I think you should do this. I think you should do this, I probably wouldn't have kept going, because there were some times I was like, I don't even know really why I'm doing this, other than I feel like God's like, I think you should do this. What I started to notice first was once my energy came back, it came back several fold. So I had been struggling with some long-term chronic fatigue. It came back I had been taking naps, and sometimes I still lay down, but I had been taking naps during the day, like to the point where I could not schedule anything between 1 and 3 because I knew I needed to lay down. I don't know what was going on with my body. May have been a blood sugar issue. So now I don't need to take those naps. I don't need to eat breakfast. I often don't eat until like 11 or 12, sometimes 1. I don't have like hard and fast fasting rules. Like it's not like I'm like, oh, I have to go 16 hours of fasting and then 8 hours of eating. Like I don't have crazy windows. I just kind of eat when I'm hungry. I love the food that I eat. What do I eat? Like avocados, coconut oil, low carb veggies like celery and cabbage and broccoli. I mean, that's not what this is about. Okay, so I did it for spiritual reasons. Okay, let's fast forward to now how my physical body has changed. So since I have lived, I've always considered myself an apple shape, and I still do. Like I'm that mesomorph. I put on muscle easily. I've got wide shoulders, narrow hips, but I've always had more of what could be considered like a male's body, where I always gain fat, more amount of my midsection. I will find some pictures and I'll make some sort of post where you can see like before and after pictures, because it wasn't like I was looking for any change in my body, because I was frankly happy with my body. Just, it worked for me. I liked the way it looked, but I cannot believe how it has really reshaped my body since then. Like really reshaped my body to where I've got like a waist, which is crazy. I've never had a waist before, like ever. Well, now I've been following another doctor, another woman. She's a gynecologist, Dr. She says she does the Galveston diet is what she calls it. And oh my gosh, Mary Claire Halverson, I think is her name. She's amazing. Anyway, she helps women go through menopause and change the way that they're eating to be not ketogenic. She does not call it ketogenic, but it is definitely high fat, higher fat than we're used to, high healthy fat, and lower carbohydrates. Now, the point of all of this is, I say this book changed my life, but really the transformation started about 7 years ago when I was actually able to stop using food to get through life. I mean, my days were, during the day, I was a full-time personal trainer, 2 boys. During the day, I ate pretty well and I'm always in front of people. But at night, I would find myself in a little corner of my kitchen with a jar of peanut butter and a spoon, just like eating and thinking to myself, why the hell am I eating this? I mean, I couldn't wait for my husband to go to bed so I could stay up and eat more. I was not only making dinner, but eating while I was cleaning up dinner, cleaning up everyone's plates, as well as eating while I was making dinner and then cleaning up dinner. It was just so bizarre. I didn't know why I was doing it. And the truth is, it doesn't really matter why. I just needed to stop. I finally got help 7 years ago, and I'm so excited to be able to help women just like you transform your bodies and stop binge eating. There's no way that I could have been able to follow what was laid out in this book if I was still using food to get through life. I couldn't transform my health. I couldn't transform my body. It just wasn't possible because I was still so stuck in the food. And I'm a smart woman. Trust me, I am very smart. And you are too. It's just we need that help to get over that hump. And I want to teach you a new way. I want to teach you how to transform your body. I want to teach you how to transform your mind. So please, please, please know that there's a million different ways to transform your body. But hey, sister, there's one first step. And that first step is transforming your mind and putting the food down and getting it in its proper place so that you can nourish your body and help it make food work for you and not against you, right? Have you heard food is your frenemy, right? Like it's a friend and an enemy at the same time. Why don't we just put it aside and let it be nourishment and fuel, right? Like let it be the food that fuels our bodies, because we have got God and we have got so many more things to fuel our soul. And I will teach you how to feed your mind so that it starts with your mind and your body changes. I'll teach you all of that. Let's chat. Let's chat. Well, I'm Denise Jelinek and I help women over 40 finally give up that dang binge eating. It's never too late, girl. Never, ever. I'll see you soon. Let's chat.